Yo, what's up, everybody? Nova here. Uh, I think, can someone send a message in the chat just to make sure it's working right now? Oh, oh. Sweet. Awesome. Alrighty, so I'm gonna be going over, this is usually what I do every day before I post the watch list, is I have a notebook right now and I'll just write down a bunch of tickers and then I'll go through the individual charts. Anything that stands out, I'll make a note, put a little star next to it, and then go back, look through it, see if I actually do like it, and then if it is something that does look interesting, um, I'll throw it onto the watch list. So I was thinking that right now, that was something that we could all do, is just go through some charts, and if you guys had any recommendations or any suggestions or anything that you want me to take a look at, I'd be more than happy to. Um, if anybody has any questions on, what I'm seeing or what I'm looking at, what I look for, all of that stuff, I'm more than happy to answer that. But yeah, and if, like I said, if anybody wants me to take a look at anything, I'm more than happy to take a look at it. And if it's something that I like the setup of, I'll be sure to throw it on the watch list. Right now, for my watch list, let's see, let me just go up over here. So right now, I'm just gonna make a note of what I have written down on my paper. I try to go over 20 to 30 stocks, which takes a while, but if it's not something that looks interesting straight off the bat, sometimes I won't even worry about marking it up. But let's see. Actually, I'm gonna throw this so we can get some market direction. And then let's see what else we can add. Neo, XLF, VXX. So let's throw some of these on real quick. All right, let's change this. And if anybody has any recommendations, feel free to throw some out there because I'm here to take a look and help out. So let me write these down real quick. Netflix, FedEx. Um, let's look at Yeah, of course. We'll throw that on there. Let's see. What else should we take a look at? Virgin Galactic. So Virgin Galactic. Okay, so Space just came out with news, so we'll throw that on there. You can throw that in the chat. Should we look at? I also haven't written down NVIDIA. So let's check out NVIDIA. Let's see. Is there anything else? Futu, Neo, Cost, Salesforce, Vail, Airbnb, Trade Desk, Zoom, Baidu, DocuSign, ADSK, Netflix, FedEx, UPS, Upstart, Roku, Tesla, Facebook, Twitter, CrowdStrike, Micron, Space, NVIDIA, SPY, QQQ, VIX, Financials, ETF. I think this is a good list to start us off. We could throw Square on. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll throw Square on. And then I think Tilray bottomed out. I can't remember though. What else? Someone said to look at Oracle, ORCL, and CSCO. Alright. Alright, so let's start charting. So I'm going to go through the first things that I'm going to go through right now is going to be, I'm going to go through SPY and the cues just to sort of give myself a market direction and help with trying to identify what I'm looking for. So if I'm looking more on the call side or the put side, SPY right now is going towards my target. My mental target's 430, but my technical analysis target's 433, which if you do the Fibonacci retracement from this high to this low right here, puts us at 432. So I think it's this one that's 433. Okay, no, so it might be 432. I might be overcompensating. So you want to go from the high to the low, make sure it's respecting. Yep. And I mean, there's no clear sign. Yeah, I'd be happy to answer that. So the reason I'm looking at the 1 hour time frame right now, there's multiple reasons, but I'll kind of do this in like a notes format. So when you're looking at why the higher time frame? So when you're charting on the higher time frame, the move that typically happens is going to be more significant, meaning that there's a higher conviction. There's like if you have a bull flag on the higher time frame, the move to the upside is going to be it's going to be a greater move to the upside than a bull flag on, let's say, the 5 minute. Because if you think about it, so the higher time frame is going to be 60 minutes, and you have a bull flag on let's say you have a bull flag on the 5 minute. Well, in a in comparison to the 1 hour versus the 5 minute, you have 12 5 minute candles and an hour candle. So if you have a bull flag on an hour candle, you're going to have there's going to be way more other candles inside of that bull flag, which is going to make the move to the upside or the downside more significant. If you're charting on the 15 minute, obviously you won't have as many candles as the 5 minute, but you'll still have 4 15-minute candles within that. And then same thing goes, like if instead of charting on the 1 hour, if I was charting on the 4 hour, I'd have 4 1 hour candles within that. And then from having 4 1 hour candles within that, I'd have 48 5-minute candles, etc. So the move is bigger, the move's greater. And also the other thing too that I like about charting on the higher time frame, is that I don't have to constantly update my charts because it does take longer. So don't have to constantly update. And then the levels too, the levels are more significant. So if you have a support on the 5-minute versus a support on the 1 hour, obviously the one on the 1 hour is going to be a greater support because it has more 5-minute candles within that, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm over explaining or under explaining, but usually just the higher time frame has more candles within it. Those more candles create a greater move. You don't have to constantly update your charts because it takes a little bit longer for everything to play out, which is where patience comes in. You have to be pretty patient. And then also the levels, the support resistances are all more significant just because they do maintain, or they have those higher candles, more candles within them. So that's sort of why I'm charting on the 1 hour. You could chart on if we'll see once we start going through and looking at more stuff, you'll see I kind of switch around. Yeah, so it just all depends on. So you also have to keep in mind with what the intentions are of how you want to trade something. So you'll see as we go through these tickers, sometimes like for a swing trade, if it's a trade that you want to go long on, so hold it for a couple days or even a couple weeks, you'll typically chart on you'll look at the monthly candle, the daily candle, the weekly candle, the 4-hour candle. Those will all be more significant to you. If it's something more of a day trade, then you'll be looking, personally myself, I'll look at the daily, the 4-hour, the 1 hour, and the 30-minute. And then from there, I'll kind of create my PTs, my price targets, and everything. So it all just depends on what your purpose of trading that thing is. Facebook, yes, I'll definitely look at Facebook. But yeah, let's take a look at SPY real quick. And if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask, or if you would like me to expand on anything, I'm more than happy to. Let's see. So what we're looking for is we're looking for volume to support the current move that's happening right now. So we can see that volume has, we're working with relatively low volume. Keep in mind it's also because we're getting near 4th of July, so a lot of the big players, the institutions, aren't trading right now. Some of them, they're either on vacation or they just know that market conditions aren't favorable, so they're just kind of sitting around with what they have. So if we look, so the red line is going to be the 20 EMA. We're maintaining the 20 EMA. We're yet to drop, so that looks good. We have volume supporting our current move right now, which is good. Our MACD, that's not really significant, but it's still pointing up right now, which is good. So yeah, there's no super clear signs that we're heading down. Oops. Why did that just switch? Can you guys still see the stream? Okay. Okay, sweet. Alright, so daily candle. We cleared this resistance. looked good. We had a doji candle, so indecision, but it still didn't pass the low of, or the open of this candle. So that's good, or the low. Meaning bulls are still in control. We're still holding above the 20 EMA, which is good. And then yeah, this is a good push. So let me adjust this. So what I would have liked to personally, as someone that that bases most of their trades off of technical analysis, what I'd be looking for myself is for this volume right here, the most recent volume candle, so the one from today, which is going to be this one right here, this candle right here. Because this move was so significant, like we gapped up and then just kept pushing, I would have liked for today's volume to have been greater than the candle to the left of it, meaning that bulls were completely in control. Now, the volume may not be as much as the one to the left of it, maybe because there wasn't as much selling, which is a possibility, but I don't know. That's just myself personally. That's what I look for, is in the big moves, I like for there to be big volume that backs up the big moves. So I think this was from quad witching, which is what a lot of people sold out on, because we did come down to test this 50 EMA. Yeah, I would just like to have seen more volume to back up this move, because as you can see, the volume sort of starting to decrease as we continue to go up, which makes me believe that we're going to come down soon. Granted, there is no signs of reversal just yet, but I think soon to be we may start coming to this 20 EMA, which we've been respecting since June 21st. So, which we've been respecting since June 22nd. So June 22nd was last Tuesday. Yeah, that looks good. I'm just going to write down on my notes, so when I go to do my notes for SPY, I'm just going to put above 20 EMA, no sign of reversal, bulls in control. So yeah, look at this. Is also another thing why I chart on the 1 hour. That's pretty misleading. I mean, you come down, break the 20 EMA, which most people would believe. Most people would think that we're coming down to test right here, but we just tested the 50, faked out. Bulls came back in control and pushed us up. So I don't know. It's just charting on the 1 hour is a lot less misleading. It makes everything more clear. And we finished the day off in sort of a flag pattern, which is also good. So I think we'll have some relative strength throughout the day, or throughout tomorrow. So let's take a look at QQQ, which is tech. So let's see. So MACD's pointing down, yet we're going up, which is going to start curling the MACD, which you can kind of see right here as it gets a little bit flatter. We have a resistance. We'll make it a box so it's a little bit more. So if you guys watched the horizontal resistance video that I posted a while back, we could count that. That would be our resistance right here. So for continuation, we would like for it to break above. Let's go from the high of this wick right here. So 355.23. So in my notes, I'm going to put continuation above 355.23. And if you want to see the high of the candle, it will be right up in here. When you hover over that specific candle, it'll have H for high. So 355.23. That would be continuation above. We did break below the 20. So we broke below the 20 on high vol. No. I mean, most of today's volume was on this break of the 20 bulls. So we the high of this candle is 355.64. So we failed to close above the high of the higher volume candle. So I'm gonna personally say I'm a bit mixed on the Qs. Um, we'll see what the XLF looks like, which is financials. I believe we're gonna have a rotation here soon, but let's take a look at that first. I mean, there's too many gaps on tech right now, in my opinion. I think that this current run has gone on for quite a while without having any like major retests of significant levels. But we'll wait and see. And it's not the end of the world. We just like we wrote down, we need to get over 355.23. So on my notes, I'm gonna put mixed, starting to get exhausted. And you can also tell it's starting to get exhausted because on these green candles, the volume is kind of there's more selling pressure. Well, I don't want to say there's more selling pressure because we're still moving up, but the buyers are starting to get exhausted and sellers are starting to kind of take over volume, but they're still letting their profits ride. So that looks QQQ's bit mixed. I think that if SPY pushes, we'd still be a little bit bullish, but so let's see. So we got VIX right here, which is the inverse, so it does the opposite of what the SPX and SPY does, because the SPY is just an ETF for the SPX, but it's a bit easier to chart. So let's see. Just taking a look at volume. I like this support right here. But if we are to let's take a fib level. Let's go from the low of this candle, these set of candles right here, to the high of this candle. Yeah, I still want to come down maybe one more leg just to get to that 327.92, 328, because you can see that it's been respecting these fib levels. So for VIX, I think that with the SPY, so we're bullish on SPY still. So we have SPY going to 432/434, as we saw from our fib levels, which fibs don't always play out. You want to use multiple things to get confirmations, but so we're gonna go VIX. We're gonna do leg down to 27.92. Watch for reversal, because there's still not a lot of volume here to back up an up move, because we're still waiting for. I mean, you can tell people are slowly starting to scale into a position, but it's nothing significant yet that would completely contradict what we're seeing on SPY. So what we're seeing on SPY right now is pretty accurate in comparison to the VIX, which is what you want. So let's do. You know what? I'm not even gonna set an alert on this, but I will put something next to my notes so that I'll remind myself to take a look. Let's go to the financial sector. Okay, so if you guys remember from, I do not think it was yesterday. Yeah, because yesterday we did not have a watch list. Yeah, it was from Tuesday. So we had in our watch list on Tuesday, our notes said watch over 65.93 or 36.95. Yeah, 36.95. So we did close above that, which makes me believe that we are starting to reverse on XLF, which is the financial sector. So yes, I'll take a look at Potato Bopper. I will take a look at Tesla. So if financials and tech are inverse of each other. So you want, if tech's strong, financials are weak. If financials are strong, tech's weak. So with these reversing, we're gonna want to keep an eye out on this. So let's see. Let's start getting some levels down. So let's start charting off some levels here. I'm actually gonna go from the wicks, the highs of these wicks, right here, like that. Let's see. There's a resistance right here. And then we want to get over the high of this candle. So high is 37.05. 37.05. I'm going to put financial rotation. And you can start to see things come full circle. Because remember what I just said, financials and tech are inverse of each other. So if financials are strong, tech's usually weak. QQQ looks mixed right now. QQQ looks weak, but financials look strong. This is a downtrend right here. Downtrend, came up, retested, came up. They weren't able to break above this, so it dropped down to test this support right here, bounced up, and now it's retesting the support that we have or the resistance, I'm sorry, that we have right here. And if after hours, I mean, it's above its resistance right now, so we'll keep an eye on this. But I think that we're going to start to see a rotation into financials, which matches up with us seeing tech weak right now. So our tech starting to look weak. So we're getting some early indications that we might start seeing a rotation come through. So I would definitely be wary of any tech stocks that you guys are currently in, or just in general, just be wary of tech stocks. But so let's start getting back into the watch list. I'm going to add a star next to my XLF because I like that rotation coming in. Okay, so Futu. Let's clear our chart. We'll clear everything off. We're going to keep our EMAs. So we broke on the 1 hour, we broke the 20, the 50, the 100, and then I think that's, yeah, the 100, and this is the dark blue is the 200. We're gonna we're looking for a support bounce. So if we just take this horizontal ray, nothing really is confirmed. Nothing's really tested this level to bounce off of yet. So not looking like too strong of a support. This is definitely a support level right here, which the open of this, or the close of this candle, I guess we could go to the low slash. Let's do this. This is why I like boxes more. You can do this whole level right here. So look at where it bounced right here. Look at where it touched and bounced. Right on that candle. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to add Futu to the watch list. I like where Futu's at for a possible support bounce. We need Futu to... I think that if we played Futu tomorrow at open, first PT would be right here at 367. And... actually, I'm going to go first PT 366. Yes, I'll take a look at Starbucks as well. Okay, I like Futu. I'm adding Futu to the watch list. I'm going to set an alert on Futu. I would like to see it clear the high of this candle, which is 362.39. So I'll just do 362. I'll do 362.45. So I'm going to do calls, create. So Futu over... or 162. I'll just do what my alert was. 45 calls, price target. We are looking for 166.15 and then 167.04. Over 167.04. We got lots of room on this thing. We can run all the way up to 177. So 177.90. And then we are on a support, so, and we do want to keep in mind that there are puts possible. So puts, Let's see, I just got an alert. Who's texting me, messaging me, I meant. Okay. I'm sorry, something's going on. Okay, so puts. We could look for puts too. So under, I'm gonna do puts under 160, PT 156. So $4 move. $4 move is good as well. So that's gonna be our levels right here. So red lines are our resistance. Those are our levels if we can get over this 162.45 for calls. And then if we break this support though, we're gonna come down here, test this. First PT can be 156. 156.20, and then the second PT I would say is fair to assume that we go down to 147.67. So that looks good. Futu definitely looks interesting. Let me set an alert right here. I'm gonna go from the low of this candle, so I'm gonna do 161.57. 151.50. You know. I just realized my mic's been muted this whole time, and I've been talking this whole time. All right, 1 second. Were you guys able to hear me talk about Futu, the Futu targets? What was the last thing you guys heard? Just in case I have to go over anything. Just in case I have to go. Okay. Futu target for puts. Sorry, my mic is. I don't know how to turn down my mic on. I have no idea how to turn down my mic, and it's as far away from my face as I can get it. Let's see. So Futu target under one. I have 160 just because 160 is a mental number. I have us going to 156.20, and then after 156.20 going down to 147.50. Those are our targets for puts. So these lines right here. And then now let's take a look at Neo. So if you guys remember, we had the Neo gap going to 50. We met that price target. Neo still has an event on July 9th, so that's a catalyst. I have Neo right now in a minor bear flag, nothing too significant. I would like to retest that 50 level, possibly come down to retest the 50 EMA. So that's also a possibility. I like Neo just for the catalyst to run up to their target. So let's go ahead, let's mark some super simple resistances right here. So we got a resistance at this level. This level is a resistance. Resistance right here. This is just going through marking easy resistances. Support, and our support lines up with the 50 EMA. Mark that blue or green. Support right here. And then we'll go, even though we didn't really test it, we did bounce off of that, so. And then let's scroll out for a second and see if we can find any more gaps. So we do have a gap right here. Yeah, Neo looks really good for, we wanted to, the reason we want Neo to come down right now is so that we can get a good entry on Neo. But with lining up to their catalyst, Neo's looking really good. Lots of gaps, which is what we want. That's in our favor. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, perfect. So yeah, we like gaps. We like the reversal off the bottom. What we're looking for is we're looking for Neo. So Neo broke after hours. Looking for Neo to come test that. This is kind of a wonky looking. Looking for Neo to break, possibly come retest, and then we want it to bounce right here. We want this 50 EMA to come line up right here on this support. Okay, perfect. So for Neo, I'm gonna write down looking to enter swings off of support. Oh, that wasn't the magnet, that's the lock. I forget where the magnet's at. Magnet. I've definitely seen it before. Oh, here we go. Option high. Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, I'll definitely try it out. Thank you for that. So support, we're trying to bounce right here in the 49-42 region. I hope just out of strength that Neo holds 50. So that is a possibility that Neo just holds 50. But we'll stick with our support plan right now. I like the support plan. I like this little bear flag playing out. The only thing to be wary of is possible head and shoulders forming. So if we do come down to this support and fail to break over this level, I'm gonna move this over. It will look wonky for a second, but if we do come down to this level but fail to break over this resistance, we might find ourselves in a head and shoulder pattern. So that is something to be cautious of. But Neo looks good for a support bounce. I'll definitely keep note of that. Let's move on. And if Neo does pop over, 5173, then we're looking for 5284. So that's also another thing to take into note. So over 5167, you can look to run that all the way up to 5294-ish, 5280-ish is what I would put my PT at. Now let's look at Costco. Just kind of move along the list a little bit quicker so we don't take all day. Costco's in a head and shoulders. I think that's looking like a clear head and shoulders. Oops. Alright, magnet. It's gonna take a minute to get used to. Head and Shoulders. Not the prettiest, but Head and Shoulders. Personally not a fan of Costco. I'm gonna skip Costco. Nothing looks good about this. I mean, we could find ourselves coming all the way down to this level over here, even to test this Wix. Calls, you know, if we bounce above this, we're not really looking, there's not much upside until we get over this 398, which I would just say 400. So over 400, it has some potential, but right now we're not looking, nothing looks good about it. So we're just gonna skip it, not interested. Salesforce. I like this consolidation. I do like this consolidation. And the reason I like this consolidation is because if we move over to the weekly time frame, you could see we were in a downtrend. We broke the downtrend. We retested. So every candle here is a weekly candle. Came down, tested. Weak magnet. Yeah, I'll put that on. Came down, retested, and now we're slowly moving up. I want us to get over 150, 146. That's my personal level to continue to ride this up. So I'm gonna go looking for longs over 251.46. Or even over this wick right here, which the high of this wick is 247.69. So you could start entering a position or I would personally enter a small position over 247.69, but it'd be a very small position, a very, very small position, because the likelihood of rejecting 250 and 251.46 are pretty high. So my small position would start at that level. Small position over. And then the trend is up. The trend is your friend. Don't short against the trend. So I'm not looking for puts on this. I'm just waiting. It's a waiting game. It's a waiting game. You just got to sit. Just got to wait. So low volume this week, which is, it is what it is. You can't really do anything about that. But yeah, just waiting. So got those levels marked out. We'll continue to go take a look at this throughout the week. Oops, that's gonna move us. Did that change the display? Nope. Awesome. Veil. So we had veil leaps, which ran up nice. We exited the veil leaps, kind of forming this big wedge pattern. Failed to break it twice. We could go ahead, and if we wanted to throw a resistance on the top of this. That's not straight. There we go. If we want to throw a resistance on top of this, we could. Oops, that is not what we're looking to do. We're a mess right now. There we go. Nothing looking too good. I'm just gonna write down watch trend line. So that is not ready yet. If the person that asked why I chart on the higher time frame is still here as well, I mean, as you can see, I charted this earlier this week, and I still don't have to just look at it, not ready, boom, on to the next thing. That's what's nice about charting on the higher time frame. Same thing with Airbnb. Oh, I did not see this. Okay, this is interesting. This is very interesting. I like this. I like what I'm seeing right here on Airbnb. So we cleared out some orders right here. Yep, I got NVIDIA coming down. We got a couple more things to look at before NVIDIA, but it's definitely on the list. Okay, so Airbnb, we came up here, we cleared some orders. Obviously, we sold off as a big level right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this line right here, just so I know. I mean, really, our only major resistance on Airbnb is right here, which is where we kind of closed at. It was a very similar level. Well, I like Airbnb. I think we had a nice consolidation too, and this big move on pretty high volume just showed how significant. Like, I think if you guys follow dark pool charts on Twitter, you could see that algos have been accumulating Airbnb for a while now. So I'm gonna put buy dips. I'll start loading dips on shares, and then I'll probably get a couple swings slash longs. Let's see, what are we looking at right here? So the close of this candle is 155.49. Yeah, I would like to get in a little bit earlier than that, but that, you know, being true to the chart and everything, really you'd wait to get over 556.39. That's what I'm gonna do. So 155.49 start position, high chance of rejecting 156.39. Oops. High chance of rejecting 156.39. Perfect. So just give me a minute just to write this down. High chance of rejecting 156.39. Sweet. Yeah, I really like this Airbnb setup. Nice bottom, good consolidation right here. Solid consolidation. You could even probably draw a trend line up like that. And if we tapped this trend line, which I'm not saying it hasn't, I don't know if I would call this a, I guess you could call it a trend line. It's tested it 3 times. But if it came back down to test that trend line, I would definitely be buying that. So, really like Airbnb. Really, really like Airbnb. Trade desk. Trade desk head and shoulders. Pretty obvious head and shoulders right here. Um, I'm gonna go under 74s. I'm gonna do puts under 74.60 because there's not really any support to back to, save this thing from falling on its face. So, oops, I did not mean to do that. Yeah, PT 70. From 70, we're looking at 69, 81, and then 60. I'm just gonna do 66.30. So that looks good. Let's add an alert on that. 74.60. Damn, I keep muting myself. Did you guys hear what I was saying on Baidu? Basically on Baidu, I just said that we're looking like we're in a bear flag right now. There's not a lot of volume to really make this very significant. So what I'm more looking for, if we did break this and come down to retest this gap, which the yellow indicates a gap, we have our 100 EMA right here to kind of back up this move, to save the move, or not, to just pop a possible spot for us to bounce instead of filling the gap completely. So my thought process is that the risk reward isn't really there for that, but I still will make a note to watch to see if it breaks the 200 level, and if it does break the 200 level, we'll come back, check the volume on the move, and if it's a significant amount of volume, then just play intraday levels to possibly come out with a nice little scalp on a short. But still, risk reward isn't really there for me. I'm not a big fan of that move, that play. But let's take a look at DocuSign. So DocuSign broke its trend line, came up, retested the trend line, rejected the trend line. It does look like it's in a bit of a bear flag, as we are still under. Let me zoom in. So came up, tested trend line, broke, retested. Bit of a bear flag. We are hovering over that 50 EMA. I like this play though. I really do like this play. So next candle to open is going to be right here, which would be tomorrow market open. I'm going to go. Really, you would want to take this play. You'd want to take this play under this level, because right here, these line up with each other. So this kind of becomes a support. This level right here becomes a support. This level is also a support. There's a lot of support built up because it had a nice run, but I do like this play as a nice like day trade slash. I don't know if I'd really swing. If I was to swing it, I would have swung overnight tonight, just in hopes that it broke. Yeah, but I wouldn't really. I mean, you could. It did bounce off this level right here, which is not. I wouldn't give this a. I wouldn't call this a significant level, but let's see, what are we looking for? Yeah, I think what I would do, so I would look all day trade right here. This would be more of a day trade. I don't know if I'd swing. If we did double bottom right here, that would be nice. So I'm gonna set an alert. I'm gonna set an alert under this candle right here, the open of this candle. I'm gonna look for. I'm just gonna put I'm gonna put puts. Really, what I'm looking for though is I want this to come down and bounce right here. I want a double bottom and have some relative strength because MACD is curling. It's kind of flattening out. So we could get a run. We'd be looking to break this resistance right here at 278.95, then pop over the 20 EMA, and then hopefully we could run back up to this level right here, 282, which would be a nice, decent trade right there. So DocuSign, I'm going to do watch for double bottom. Watch for double bottom at 276. Puts under. And then we do, I personally would I'd do calls over 20 EMA. Can you hear me now? Should be. Okay, yeah, we should. There still should be audio. Did you guys hear what I was saying? Okay, sweet. Sorry if we're taking long. If you guys want me to speed up or anything, just let me know. We can definitely do that. I'm just trying to give as much information as possible just to help out. So this looks like a Head and Shoulders. I like this play long term. This is more of a daily candle type of thing, which we had a bearish engulfing candle and we failed to reclaim over this bearish engulfing candle. So I'm looking for a trend line retest. Nothing special. I'll just write down trend line retest. Give us a better entry. We'll keep moving on. Nothing too special there, nothing crazy. Okay, Netflix. Netflix continues to consolidate over, or like right under this gap that it's in. We opened up pretty strong. High 237.03, 230. So I'll do 237.05. So we're a cent above. So I'm gonna do calls over 537. Calls over 537.05, which is 1 cent above the high of this candle. And that is a gap. We could find ourselves to hit some resistance right here, which basically puts us at 540-ish levels. So I'm gonna do calls over that, PT 540, and then from 540 we're looking to gap fill, which would put us at 549. This is risky. This is very risky. Netflix is very volatile. So I'm gonna do risky with an exclamation point next to that just so I can let myself know. And if you really wanted to... Alright, sorry about that. I haven't live streamed in a very long time. So alerts over this candle, which is 1 cent above the high of this candle. We're currently in a gap right now. We could find ourselves hitting resistance off of where these candles sort of consolidated for a little bit, bounced off of each other to create sort of a double bottom. If you really wanted to be very articulate, you could go through and you could just mark resistance levels on the lows of all of these green candles, which would give you some decent levels to, depending on what your position sizing is to potentially take some profits off the table. So, but Netflix is super volatile. As you can see, we had an alert the other day set for right here, calls over this level, and if you bought calls at this level, it ran $3, which is good, but then it just tanked right after. We're still sitting above the 20 EMA though, which is this red line. So I think that the play still looks good for a gap fill. It's just very risky. I set an alert on it. I'll throw it on the watch list. It's just really risky. It would be one of those things where you do very small position, you don't want to, if it's one of those things where even just one contract is more than 5% of your account, then just watch it do its thing, and there's always other plays in the market. I wouldn't worry too much. So FedEx is in its gap right now. I'm just going to close the gap to the high of this candle. There's still a gap right here. We'll move it to the low of that candle. I like FedEx. I do like this play. We're looking right now, the 20 EMAs crossed over the 200, the 100, or 200, 100, and then the 50. So I would be looking to take calls off the high of this candle, which is 310. So we'll move that up. We've been playing calls on this all week. From, if you've paid attention, or if anybody's been watching and looking at the previous watch lists, I mean, we've been playing calls since I'm pretty sure it was 292 level right here. Playing calls all week off this thing. So, and FedEx always pays nice. So I'm gonna do calls over. I just want to get them 310. And then PT on that is gap fill. And tomorrow's a Friday, so everything's going to be a little bit more volatile. So you're going to want to run tighter stop losses. We got that alert set right there. Gap fill is going to put us... I have a resistance right here from this candle. So we could run into some resistance at 302.56, but And this candle rejected it as well, but it pushed over. So hopefully those orders that were sitting right there got filled, and no one will be looking to push anything down until we fill the gap. But who knows? Who knows? So it's always something you want to take a look at. We got UPS, United Postal Services. Damn, I really wish I caught this earlier, because that would have been a nice play to play over 206. It's only a $4 run, but these contracts usually pay it nice. I'm seeing a slight resistance trend line right here. Let me fix and clean that up real quick. This does look interesting. This looks very interesting. I would almost look to go short on this right off of the touch, because rising wedge retesting this significant downtrend on decent volume. I don't know if we'll be able to pop over this. I would be looking to go short on UPS around the 211. So I'm going to make a note of that, because that could be a very nice play that you hold on to for a week or two and pays out nice. So I'm going to do short on trend line fail. And you want to make sure it fails. So what needs confirmation? So, and when I put down needs confirmation, these are everything I'm saying right now is being written down in my notebook. I usually write on all the tickers I chart every night, which I usually chart 30, sometimes a little bit more than 20 to 30, sometimes a little bit more or less. Yeah, no, this does look good. I'll write down these notes, and this is definitely something I want to keep a note on. I'm not going to put, actually, you know what, I will put, I'll put, puts, so needs confirmation. When I put needs confirmation, that means that we need an hourly candle to show the rejection. So hourly candle needs to show the rejection. Needs confirmation, chart put levels after rejection, because this could be something that taps this level, rejects, bounces off of a support, and then keeps pushing forward. So this could be a very nice play, though. I think that there's enough levels here that give you enough play leeway to load up on some longer, further out of the money contracts that you can slowly start taking profits off the table at significant percentage levels. So I do like this, though. I like this a lot for a put. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Upstart, consolidation, this isn't really my style. This is not my, I'm not a big fan of these types of stocks. Just kind of like pump stocks. Nothing that really interests me unless it can get over 134.47, which is $11 away from where it's at right now. This thing has ran a lot in the past, but nothing. We'll throw up a resistance on it. Over that level, I would definitely be very interested in this, but because you have a gap right here, so you could get an easy $12 move on this. So if you are charting with me right now, over 347, let's just call it 134.70. I'm sorry. If you over 134.70, I would throw up an alert. If it can get there, then great. Let this thing ride. As of right now, though, for tomorrow's purposes, I'm not really interested. So I'll throw a star next to it, and then 134.70 enter calls, because there's not much resistance from that major sell-off. So this is the major level right here, and it's tested it 3 times. So this actually, I changed my thought. I'll change my thought process on this. I really do like this play. I don't think it's ready yet, and I don't want to enter this prematurely. So, but over that level is something I do become very interested in it, especially if it can have this volume that it has right now supporting the play. Yeah, this does look, if it can get over this level, this is easy money. I mean, that's an easy couple $1,000s that you could make off of this just from a $12 move. Yeah, that looks good. Looks good. Very good. Just needs to get over there, and I don't know if it will be able to do that tomorrow. Roku, looking to come test 428. If it breaks that, then we're coming all the way down to 406. Just because of the amount, of volume it had, that kind of supported it throughout this whole move, which I could toy around here and find like the volume profile, whatever it's called. Not really interested in this, to be honest. I don't think the risk to reward is there. Yeah, I really don't think the risk to reward is there right now on this. Because it could easily come bounce off of it would break the 50, but it could bounce off of this, which would just fake a lot of people out. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. We'll check on tomorrow. We'll check on it again. Check on intraday. Because keep in mind too, if there's, I think we said, I forgot how many candles we said, how many 5 minutes were in the, I should know this. This is easy math, but 60 minutes divided. So there's 12 5-minute candles. So if there's a lot of volume on those, you could play an intraday short on this. But a long-term short, I don't know if it's worth it. An intraday short, yeah, this could easily be worth it. I mean, right here you've kind of consolidated into what I would consider a flag pattern, a bear flag. A very weak bear flag, but it does serve the purpose of a bear flag, which is a consolidation, and then it broke below the bear flag and retested and rejected. So yeah, this actually, on the lower time frame, flag right here broke below, bounced off the support, retested, fell down, and came down to test the low of the day. 5-minute wise, this looks like an amazing short. For a swing / higher time frame wise, it does not look that good, but we'll definitely, oops, we're off the chart. There we go. Yeah, good intraday short. This could be a good intraday short. Check on intraday for short. I do like that. And then I'll write down 5 min. And then I guess since if we are going to check tomorrow, we'll just throw up some super fast possible levels for support. So 1 moment. If you guys hear music in the background, I'm sorry, it's my roommate right now. I don't think it's coming through the mic, which is no worries. But sweet, there we go. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Sweet. All right, that will serve as intraday support levels. Tesla's next. I know someone asked for Tesla. If you are still in here, can't find them in the chat, but Tesla. So I personally, oops, there we go. I don't know what my mute mic button is, but I keep pressing it. Here's Tesla though. So we're gonna be looking at Tesla. I think the Roku, I said Roku that for intraday you're looking to short. We drew out some resistance, some supports on Roku. Intraday it looks good for a support. So that's what we're watching. Tesla, we're now watching Tesla. Tesla has a nice gap right here. I did not see the news on the numbers, the specific numbers. Let's see. I don't think I don't want to dig. I'm too lazy to dig for that. I really don't like Tesla anyway. I think it's overvalued personally. I think Tesla drops. It was forming a triangle and it came out of the triangle, retested, and it's still dropping right now. I think Tesla comes to at least test 670 area. And if we can break below the low of this candle, which is 667.61. So if we break 670, we're going to come test 667.61. And if we break that, we're coming to fill the gap, which puts us at 657. Lots of sevens on Tesla. 657. Now the 1 hour, let's check the 1 hour real quick. Let me just see something. I never try to adjust trend lines because there's a purpose for them. The only reason I would consider moving this out like this is because this candle came down and these candles came and bounced sort of in the same region, even though this is technically a support. Shit. Oops, sorry. Not mean to cuss if there's people watching this stream with kids. Let's see. Come on. There we go. So Tesla could be forming something like that. That's a little big, though, in my opinion. Could be making that. That is something to keep in mind. I don't know. I'll stick to these levels, though. So if Tesla breaks below the low of this, so if Tesla breaks below 672.80, what did you say? You extend your trend line to that huge wick on the 24th. 24th. Like this wick. Oh, I see what you're saying. I think that huge wick on the 24th, though, the significance of the wick is just to come test one of these levels over here, the breakout level. So test the low of this, test this kind of gap that it filled when it broke out like that. So I don't know if that would be like significant to a trend line, but I do see what you're saying. I just can't. There's not really. I could on the hourly candle. Let's see if there's a way to match it up. Okay, I think there actually is. I think you do have a good point here. I'll go off the bottom of. So if we're going, I'm just gonna go off the green candles, ignoring the. Ping me on Discord. Yeah, I see exactly what you're. Yeah, I see that too. Now I see that. If I only go off the green candles, which makes sense. Well, I usually want to go off all candles, but if it's only going off the green candles, yeah, we are making a pretty large triangle right here. Let me change this to, I'll change this to a different color, just so I mentally can note that. Either way, though, so I'm going to switch back to the 30. I did not mean to do that. Okay. Either way, our significant levels here on Tesla is we're going to do, so I'm going to write down puts under, and we're going to go the low of this candle. So the candle that my mouse is on, we're going to go the low of this candle, which would technically put us outside of this 1 hour trend line. So we're going to go 66.72.80. So puts under 672.80. PT for that, we'd be looking, so we could come to test 671. So first PT would be 671.55, and then but my mental number would be more 670ish, and then under 670 we would come test the low of this candle right here, which obviously got bought up, and then the candle after that just exploded. So there are buyers waiting there. So we'd test 668.70, and then from 668.70 we would come all the way over and test 667.61. So there's a lot of levels on Tesla right now. And then if we broke that, we'd just gap fill. I hope those levels make sense. I'll set an alert right here on the low of this candle. Just to see if it is something that wants to play out, and if it does have increased volume, then that is something I would be interested in. So now we're looking at Facebook. Facebook looks good. I do like Facebook. Let's switch back over to the one chart. Facebook on the 1 hour. Facebook looks good to test 356.83. Over 356.83, we're coming to test the high of this candle, which puts us at 358.14. So you're looking at almost a $2 move to the upside, $1.50. And then over that, what I would be looking for, because that should be ATH. Yeah, that'd be all-time high. What I'd be looking for is mental numbers. So I'd be looking at 360. That's my personal levels. And then if it can get over 360, then you just keep going mental number. But yeah, Facebook does look damn good. We'll write down calls over. We'll do the open of we'll do the close of this candle, 356.87. PT 358.17. From 358.17, we're looking to move up to test 360. And then from there forth, we're looking for mental numbers. Right now, the trend is up. The trend is your friend. I'm not looking to short Facebook right now. The only thing I would look to the risk to reward right here would be 346.49 to play to 344. It's like $2. It's not worth it. I don't think it's worth it. So, put wise, I'm not looking to short Facebook. That is not something I'm interested in doing. Let's take a glance at Twitter. Twitter usually follows with Facebook. Rejected 20 EMA. Rejected 20 EMA. We did a parabolic curve up and failed to push higher. I've never really played puts on Twitter. I don't know if that's just because it's something that I've just never gotten the right opportunity to. If there's something behind, I can't really remember. But it does look like it could give us a decent drop. Lots of little levels right here. Yeah, I think that this looks like a good short. This looks like a decent short. Because it rejected the 20 EMA, that's why I'm looking to go short on it. So puts under. Let's do the open of this candle. So 67.37, the low of this candle, 67.30. Yeah, so that seems like a significant level. 67. We'll do 67.37, and then PT would be first PT. We'll just do the low of this candle, 67.08. Then we'll just keep walking down. 66.39. $65.83. I'll go with this. 64.83. 53.77. So like nice dollar increments. 61.71. I do like those are nice. So if you could find a nice contract that has a good open interest and volume, that's cheap. If you could load 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 10 contracts, there's lots of room to take profit off the table slash slowly scale out. Yeah, Twitter, I think that looks like a nice play. I'll mark that down. Awesome. And I think I only have 10 alerts. What are we at right now? We're at 9, so we just gotta find one more gem. We'll start kind of going a little bit quicker. I do have to go to dinner. CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike looks like a bear flag. MACD curling. I don't think it would fall. It could be rejecting. I'm not too interested in that. I'm not too interested in that personally. MU. So MU beat on earnings. They just failed to break higher. They broke their trend line, which this isn't the prettiest trend line. I'm just kind of drawing it to give a visual example. There's lots of gaps in MU, which is not what you want to see. It kind of hovered above barely this gap right here. I would watch for it to bounce off of this reversal, this support that it got a reversal on. That would be the level I would be looking for. So like around $76. Yeah, about 76. If it fails to hold these micro supports that it's made itself throughout its journey, which this looks like it could be a good decent area to bounce 78.52-ish. Or more like 78.77. So, not too interested in this either. Space had news after hours. I hate Space. I really don't like Space. It's one of those stocks that it seems more like it, I don't know. I just don't like Space. But if it pays, it pays. So who am I to complain? These wicks could be obvious resistance levels. Because it is a news play, what I would be looking for is I'd be looking for it to pass over the high of this candle, which is 57.51. So watch over 57.51, and then I would just play levels slash intraday. That's what I would do if I was to play this, because it did move. It had a pretty significant move after hours. I mean, it's up almost $12. Holy shit. Yeah, $12. Wow. It's up like what, 28%, 30% after hours? Perfect. Nvidia, I personally think Nvidia has another leg up to 828. I just myself personally, excuse me, I'm sorry, I can't justify buying it up here. I want to see it come down. I don't want to see it collapse and fall to a level that, I just want to see it retest some significant levels in a greater way than just bouncing around on the 1 hour. So, not interested in Nvidia. I'd watch intraday. Intraday is something I would be watching. Doesn't look too good. Square broke out of its triangle. I wish I was watching that, because that's an easy short. bounced right here on sort of this support right here. It wicked the support. So it could be a double bottom play. Square and SPY kind of follow each other, but Square's more of a tech stock too, and with tech looking weak, we got to keep in mind tech doesn't look super strong right now unless it breaks over that level. Something I'm not interested in. There's just it's gotta move like $9 in one day, which it easily could, but something I would watch intraday over rather than devote a bunch of time to trying to chart this out. It filled its gap that we had marked from previous watch lists. So nothing too crazy. Tilray, and then I'll look at Starbucks. Tilray consolidating. I mean, if you went to a higher time frame, hope that didn't mute me. Nope. If you went to a higher time frame, it could be looking like a little micro head and shoulders, which I wouldn't really concern myself with. Let's do like a little resistance right there just from the wicks of these candles. Broke, tested, bounced off of support. It's hanging out on the support, which we have marked right here. I would consider a small position for a possible dip buy with a very tight stop loss. So I would consider a small swing. Cannabis really only runs off of catalysts though. So I would, after the live stream, I would look for a catalyst. So an event, possible timeline on news, federal legalization, something like that would cause a little pump on cannabis. I don't know, earnings maybe, so, and I don't think they have earnings for a while. I know Tilray, I think they finished their merger, but I'll double check on that. Okay, so Tilray, possible dip buy, very small position. That's what I would be looking to do to play. I would see if this is starting to form into a trend line. And with that forming into a trend line, I would look for it to retest $19, which a dollar move is pretty significant on a stock that is only $17, $18. If you're playing options, even if you're just in shares, that's, you know, if you could load 1,000 contract or 1,000 shares, that's $1,000 right there. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. I'm not going to set an alert. It's just something I'll write down on my little sticky note thing aside from my notebook to take a look at that. What else did I say? Intraday. 1 second. I'm going to do Tilray. I'm going to do Space. Which Space can run. We've seen Space run a lot. If you've been trading for a while, Space can easily run. What else did I write down? Intraday. Confirmation. Oh, Veil and Nvidia. Okay, and then we only got a couple more left. So we got Starbucks. Starbucks looks good. Nice consolidation. 1 hour. Nice consolidation near all-time highs too, to note. Only $5 off. Yes, Starbucks actually does look pretty good. To whoever told me to take a look at it. It broke over this downtrend. We'll go off of these 3 candles right here. Gave us a nice little retest. So it came down, broke below again, retest. Now it looks decent. We would be watching for, we're just kind of drawing for shits and giggles right now. Some trend lines. And then you would just want to go over and start drawing out some micro level support and resistances, and then you could probably even get an Elliott wave count. But we've been streaming for a while now, and I have to go to a dinner here soon, so I need to get ready for that. So I'm kind of just speed charting all of these. I'm definitely going to go through and look through all of them and try to maybe get Elliott counts on them once I get back on the stream, or not on the stream, but once I get back home from the dinner. So I'd be looking for it to break over. So our 0.5 is at $13.92. I'll call it $14. really what I would be watching, I would want it to get over this wick while maintaining this trend line. Because there's obviously selling pressure here if there's this big of a candle on, especially if it's on higher volume. Which this one, let's see. Okay, shorts got trapped right here. Just looking to see. So we got gap right here. This got filled. Yeah, I think there's so many like micro little tiny resistances right here, which could be little take profit levels depending on your contract position size and everything. That this is just to signify the top of the gap. Yeah, I think over this candle right here, 414.66, there's a pretty good chance that you can see this. Or I do even. It just depends. I mean, there's so many different levels right here. I'd have to probably move out to a daily candle thing to take a look at this. Okay, there we go. Let me switch back over. There we go. So daily wise, this is a very nice breakout. If someone was in this and played that trend line to the breakout, see how much clearer it now looks on the daily candles? So let me go ahead and delete all of this. Let me redraw this trend line right here. And we can draw it off the wicks. They're not that. That is such a nice breakout. That is very nice if anybody was in this. So now, if we're looking for it to come test this level and over this level, yeah, Starbucks has room. Starbucks has lots on the daily wise. Starbucks looks nice. I'm gonna go from the there's a reason it sold off at when it opened at this height. So I'm gonna go from there. These two sort of play off of each other. There's not that gap anymore. I think Starbucks looks pretty decent if it can get over that 414.56. Yeah, 414.56 level. 414.56. Because it might consolidate around this area a little more. Even if you just wanted to be safe and play 515.72 to play like an all-time high test, because it moves slow. I like Starbucks. This is a very nice play. I'm definitely gonna come back and look at this. Come back and look at this on throughout the day. This breakout was clean. I would be watching for it to push over, even if it comes and retests this trend line. This could be a trend line that you slowly scale into positions just to keep playing. You really want it to get over that 414.56 level, though. Yeah, I like Starbucks. Very nice play. Whoever said that, I think it was Milan Henderson. Thank you. And then let's see. We only got a couple more. Let me write down for Starbucks, check back, and watch trend line to scale. Oracle. Ooh, there we go. Okay, I'm glad we looked at this because this is a big gap. 1 second. Alright, so I'd be looking to play I would be looking to play, yeah, or why can't I talk right now? I'd be looking to play calls over 79.65, and then I would day trade the gap on that. So yeah, that would be my personal level, 79.65 day trade. Not day trade the gap. This does look pretty good though. And then I think that's it. I think we have CSCO. Yeah, cool, nice like little reversal, but nothing. I mean, there's people loading into it. Nothing crazy. Doesn't really stand out to me that much. Like maybe playing off that trend line. It does have a lot of room to the upside, but really the only significance would be entering off of this trend line that is sort of creating itself. What I also wanted to point out on Oracle, which is also another thing for bullishness, is the EMAs crossing. So the 21 EMAs pushing back over the higher time EMAs, which is bullish. So that's something that I would keep in mind and keep taking a look at. I'd look to play this off of the trend line though, myself personally. There's not really anything right now that is super, like, an entry right here would not mean much to me. I'd be looking more to enter off of these trend lines. But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else anybody wants me to take a look at? I think that's all I had. Trend line. I think that's all I had on the tickers that we wrote down. We got like a nice watch list. So from what we looked at. Yeah, of course. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. It's usually what I do when I'll just scroll through, try to chart up as much as I can. Anything that looks yeah, got you. Don't worry, Disney. 1 hour on Disney. Let me make sure. Okay, perfect. Let's see. I like Disney. No, I'm just not talking right now. I'm still here, don't worry. I like Disney. Rejected this trend line multiple times. Broke over the trend line. Came back, retested that trend line. Now what I would be looking for Disney is, so we can see so even if, so I don't know, I'm very big into playing trend lines. I really like playing trend lines, and you can see that we've sort of started to create a little trend line right here. I would like for Disney, so I think Disney looks amazing right now. I really like the way Disney looks. And the 20 EMA, which is in red, I don't know if it's showing up on the screen. I might have to zoom in a little bit. but it is slowly starting to cross over all of these other EMAs, and then all of the other EMAs are starting to pass over this other the all the other EMAs are starting to cross over each other, which is going to leave the higher time frame EMAs at the bottom and then move up to the lower time frame, which is bullish. That's exactly what you want if you're bullish on something. So I really like Disney right now. Thank you for pointing this out. This looks really good. I'd be watching for it to break over these more significant wick levels. Um, it would be an excellent ad off of the trend line, especially if it can come down and retest sort of this 176.48-ish level, retest these EMAs kind of. But yeah, I think Disney looks excellent. I really do like Disney, so I'm going to definitely add that on to check my intraday levels. I think it needs a little bit more time. Um, I think it needs a little bit more time before it starts making like very, very significant moves. But as if for an reopening play, which same thing falls in line with Airbnb, which I'm so mad I didn't catch Airbnb. I've had that thing alerted for so long. I never got the dip on it, which it gave a perfect entry. Um, but yeah, Disney looks good for a reopening play as well, because I know they're opening up their parks and everything too. So I think Disney looks excellent, especially with Disney Plus and all of that stuff now. And Mandalorian comes out somewhat in August/October, which is a big catalyst. I know a lot of people repurchase their Disney subscriptions and stuff like that to actually watch Mandalorian, especially with the Disney adults and everything. Yeah, this looks good. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want me to take a look at? On Disney, I'd be watching trendline, and if it doesn't come down to retest this trendline, then I'd be looking for the breaks of these candles and then to play at 180-ish. Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll end the live stream right now. Um, I'm gonna go post the watch list that we created from everything that we've charted today. Yep, we looked at Netflix. We have Netflix. Well, I'll post that on Twitter. Um, but yeah, if anybody else has anything, feel free. Of course, of course. I probably went a little bit more in depth than I should have, but I hope it really helped out some people. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll go ahead and post the watch list on Twitter before I go to this dinner, and then I'll come back. I'll go through all the charts to see if there's anything that I missed, maybe like an Elliott count or something like that, and then if there is anything, I'll make sure to post that. But we should be pretty good. I think we're gonna try to stay pretty basic with just some horizontal support and resistances and trend lines, which is really all you need to do when you're charting. But yeah, awesome. I appreciate you guys tuning in and showing up, and I'll get that watch list posted as soon as I can. I hope everyone has a great rest of your night. Thank you.